everybody, it's your boy Kenny. This is another video for the Laker Nation. Today we're talking about Adou Thiero, probably the most underrated player on the Lakers. Here's why I say that, right? We're gonna talk while some highlights are going, right? First of all, look at this. When he did this, man, I almost jumped out the crib. Almost jumped out the house. Oh my goodness. I'll say this, right? A lot of people, they'll probably look at me crazy. They'll probably look at me like a confused dog. Yo, Adou Thiero is definitely the most athletic guy on the Lakers. When I say athletic, I mean we're talking about straight, just height and jumping. We're talking about just explosiveness. We're talking about how quick somebody is. Obviously, I don't want to say he's the quickest guy in the Lakers, bro. Adou is literally one of the most explosive guys on the Lakers. Now, I think he's been a part of the Lakers for about, what, a year, I think, so far. I'm going to be completely real. Out of all the NBA highlights that we've seen from him, obviously he's a rookie. And if you guys don't know, and they don't just do this for the Lakers. They do this like all around the NBA. If you're a rookie and if you're not like Cooper Flag or whatever, like if you're not like first round pick that's like between like pick, I don't know, like 1 through 10 or 1 through 20, whatever, most likely you're going to be on the bench. It is what it is. You're going to be on the bench. I mean, especially if you're like a second round person, not to disrespect nobody. I'm not trying to sit up here and try to like, oh, if you're a second round pick in your beer, you're not going to sniff the NBA court. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. I mean, if you're like a round 2 or whatever, you're not really going to sniff the NBA court. And if you are, you're not going to get on the NBA floor unless your team's up by 30 or unless your team is getting killed by 30. Right? In the last few minutes of the fourth quarter, they're going to put you in. And then, you know, you're going to run around for a little bit. And as soon as you get the ball, you're going to chuck it up. That's what a lot of rookies do. Hey, that's what a lot of rookies was doing, y'all. Especially, bro, on the Lakers, especially don't connect, bro. Whenever don't connect and Bronny would get on the floor, and it's like, what, 2-3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and either the Lakers are up or the Lakers are losing, bro, don't connect, he would let that thing go. That's one thing that I respect about don't connect. Bro, if he didn't get no touches throughout the entire game, if he did not get on the floor throughout the entire game, bro, he's letting that ball go. He wouldn't even, bro, Bronny would do these, bro. Dalton would look at Bronny like this and still pull up from the 3. Whether it's going in or whether it's not going in, he's still pulling up. Like that's just a lot of rookies, they don't get that playing time, bro. And unfortunately, I'm going to be completely real. What's so sad is, right, and I'm going to get to it in a little bit, but let me just say this. After what I've seen in my entire life, right, a lot of these second round players or whatever, like, yes, they don't barely get time or whatever, but what that does is a lot of these second round players, like, yes, they don't even get time, bro, they get traded, they get cut. Like, it like blows my mind because in my head I'm like, yay, like, cool, like this player made it to the NBA, but they didn't really play anything, and then they're just sitting on the bench. And so now their potential, they're kind of like stalling out, and the only time they actually get to play basketball is like in the warm-ups or in like the G League team, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I'm glad that Bronny in his first year, I think, because I think he played in his first NBA game, you know, with LeBron, I think against the Timberwolves in 2024, which was such an iconic moment to have LeBron and Bronny on the same floor. But, you know, Bronny, he was a rookie, bro. And what's so crazy is, like, after Bronny played that first game with LeBron, to basically, like, it was for the moment, basically. After that, I mean, Bronny was basically on the bench, just like every other rookie, you know. And I'm glad that they actually put him, you know, for the, I think he went to, like, the South Bay Lakers, which is, like, the Lakers G League team. And Bronny was killing in the G League team. So I'm glad that he was still moving. I'm glad that he was, you know, because I feel like the worst thing that can happen to a basketball player is stalling them out. It's basically just them sitting on the bench, just not doing nothing. And I felt like that's what happened to Don't Connect. And then, you know, whenever Don't Connect, whenever it was time for him to step up, he wasn't really stepping up because he was stalling out, you know. And obviously, we're going to talk about, I'm going to be honest with you, I want to make a video about Don't Connect, bro, because I really feel bad for him. I really do. But this video is not about Don't Connect. This video is about Adou Thiero. And I feel like in the Summer League, oh man, those past 4 games, let me tell you something. Yeah, cool, we lost to the Warriors or whatever in the last semifinals, whatever. Bro, I'm so proud of my young Lakers team, bro. Bro, do y'all see what we was doing? Look at him. Now, I'm going to be completely real with you. We knew Adou Thiero can dunk. Come on, bro. We knew that. Man, let me tell you something, bro. Whenever Adou would actually, like, we saw a lot of shooting from him in these summer league games, bro. His shot was on. I'm pretty sure there was a few times to where, whenever he would actually be in like a Laker game, when a dude would actually be in a Laker game and he would shoot, sometimes he wouldn't make it, like, or sometimes it would airball or whatever. But at the same time though, I don't even think that was his role. And what's so crazy is I thought he was more of like a small, like, forward type of player. Turns out I think they got him listed as a power forward. Now, to be fair, he is like 6'8", I think, or 6'7", 6'8". Rick's Revan. It's like 6'7", 6'8", which technically that is like small forward, power forward type of positioning. But the fact that he's this young, bro, jumping out the gym like this, and in the summer league, he was actually hitting a few shots. Hopefully, we can actually see one in the highlights, bro. But like, bro, this is a young dude, bro, full of like, just look, bro. Look at the explosion, bro. Like, bro, it's legit. Like, look. Hands. Windmill, bro. Bro, he could be a really good piece for the Lakers, bro. Especially like coming off the bench. Because we need people like him. We need a young player like this, bro. Like, this is a young... I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I feel like the NBA comes in phases. And obviously at a time, I'll probably say around like 2010, right? In 2010, that was the era of like I'll say this, in like around 2010, 2011, that was the era of like, that's when three-pointers, it was like the formal, having two centers, not two centers, but, it was smart for you to have like a forward and like a center type of basketball. Like, the forward and the centers at that time dominated. If you were a bigger player, you dominated. This is why players like LeBron, listen, bro, I don't know if you guys know or not, but bro, LeBron was almost 300 pounds on the Miami Heat, bro. He had to bulk up because at that time, like, the three-point game wasn't really established yet. Like, you had three-point shooters, but the game at that time wasn't really established at the three-pointers. Like, at that time, the game was a mid-range game. You had players like Dwayne Wade taking mid-range shots. It was, I think Dwayne Wade's spot was like right here. You had Kobe Bryant, of course, his classic shimmy, fake, pump fake fadeaways. You had LeBron James, still coming in strong, dunking at what, 280 pounds, but he's almost 300 pounds. Like, LeBron was a really, really big dude at that time. And obviously at that time, y'all, like, it was really all about, putting a bunch of, superstars on the team. I'm not gonna lie to you, that Miami Big Three was nasty, bro, with Wade, Bosh, and LeBron. That Miami Big Three was nasty. That San Antonio Spurs 2010s team with Ginobili, with Parker, with Kawhi, with Tim Duncan. Like, that was, and LaMarcus Aldridge. That was a nasty lineup. Yes, three-pointers was a thing at that time, but it was more about like the mid-range. It was more about having big people on a team. Nowadays, even kindergartners are pulling up from half court with confidence. What I'm trying to say is, y'all, the game is changing, and I feel like we're in the era right now where it's all about the age, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the reason the Thunder won is because they're a young, fast team. They're young, fast, bro. They can break their leg, pop it back in, and keep playing. bro. The Thunder is a young, fast team, bro. I think SGA is like 29 or 30, whatever, so he's in his prime. I think that Jalen Williams guy, I think he's in his 20s. I think Chet is in his 20s. Like, even oh my God, who was the other guy? He was on the 76ers, but then he got traded to the Thunder. He used to do TikTok or whatever. Bro, he's in his 20s. You know who I'm talking about. I forgot his name. But like, bro, like, we're in the era now, y'all, to where like these young players are more skilled, obviously, because that's evolution when it comes to anything in life, whether it's basketball, football, whatever. These young players are more skilled than ever. They're pulling up from half court with confidence on some Curry-ish. And, if they get injured, they coming right back to a week later. So at the end of the day, this is a young man's sport nowadays because the game is faster. The game, does put more pressure on the body because the game is faster. And I just feel like, we need the Lakers. When I say we, I always refer to the Lakers if you guys are new. The Lakers needed more young people. And I feel like Adou definitely adapts to, obviously he's a young man. I think he's like 20 or 21. Bro, he's a young man, bro. He's jumping out the gym. And I just feel like he just fits the Lakers because of how young he is, of how explosive he is, and the one thing that I really don't want to happen to him is I don't want his potential to stall out. I don't want him to be on the bench all day. Right, JJ Redick. I don't want like, the same way. One thing that I'm gonna give JJ Redick was JJ Redick was playing a lot of the young people. I will admit that. Maybe because we were going through like a lot of injuries or whatever. At the time, and he was trying to like get some younger people some experience or whatever. But I definitely want to see Adou Thiero out there. I want to see him out there, bro. I want to see, whenever I don't know who our power forward is right now. Maybe our power forward can be Kevon Looney, because I know Walker Kessler is our center. But whenever Kevon Looney sits down, or maybe a dude could be our starting power forward. You just never know, bro. I really want him to be out there playing, because the one thing that I've always seen some of these rookies do is, like, yes, in the G League they're killing, but whenever they get to the NBA, they're not really, they're not really performing like they should, because they're not playing at that top level, because they're sitting down all game, not by their own decision, but obviously, if the coaches trust him, they'll put him in. If the coaches don't trust him, they won't. I just feel like he's really underrated because, and when I say underrated, I don't mean that in a respectful term, like, oh, like, you're good, but you're just not whatever. No, I feel like he's underrated because he just needs to play more. I feel like JJ needs to play him more. And again, whether that's up to the Lakers front office if they want to play him more, etc. But he's a young man. He's like 21 years old. His athletic meter is through the charts. And like I said before, bro, in this league, bro, we live in a league now to where everybody and their mama's shooting, bro. Even the centers. You can't even leave the centers at the three open anymore. I remember there was a time, y'all. There was a time to where in the NBA, if there was a center, even at the mid-range. Think about this. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was a time in the NBA to where if a center was at the mid-range, oh yeah, you would leave him open. You would back up just in case, because either a screen's coming or he's going to screen you and pass the ball up to the point guard, or there's a play for him, and you know that this big man is at the mid-range or at the three-point to where, okay, he's not going to shoot that. Bro, we're at the... Y'all, we're in the times to where the centers can shoot threes. That's the most scariest thing. That's the scariest level that we're at right now, bro. We have Jokic shooting threes. We have Chet Holmgren, whatever his last name is, shooting three-pointers. Anthony Davis, he was a center. He was shooting three-pointers. To this day, he's shooting three-pointers. Who else is shooting? Bro, Wembanyama is shooting threes. And not only are they shooting, bro, they're shooting... That's like their first tendency. As soon as they pull up, bro, they would pull up with a package to the three, pull up and shoot it with confidence. That is the scariest part of today's league. Everybody and their mama, even the referees can shoot. Even the preschool teachers from down the street, even they can shoot. Everybody and their mama can shoot a basketball now. That's the most dangerous thing about the league. And so what I've seen in these last few Summer League games was a dude can actually, he has a shot. And I actually hope that he take more advantage of that, because I'm thinking once he get on the floor, a lot of obviously his first tendency is not to shoot a three. But I hope that, hey, if he gets open, I hope that he shoots that three. I hope that his shot can be on. Maybe that's not his first tendency, whatever. But I think that, like, if he get his shot on, bro, he would be a dangerous small forward, a dangerous power forward, bro. And he will be I feel like he'll be a nasty lob threat for Luka, bro. Really, I really think so, bro. I think he'll be a nasty lob threat for Luka. Really, because obviously Jackson Hayes, he was our lob threat last year, and obviously he threw so many great lobs to Jackson Hayes. It was crazy, but we don't have him anymore. I'm really sad that he left, but yeah, bro. Honestly, I think Adou is really underrated. I really think that the Lakers should play him a lot more, especially since we moved into a younger, faster, bigger team. I think the Lakers got, like I said, younger, faster, bigger, which was good because that's what the league is becoming. The league is becoming younger, faster, and bigger. So I feel like, the late Rob Pelinka, man, I can't wait to make my video about you, bro. Bro, I cannot wait to make my video about Rob Pelinka, bro. He's the greatest GM ever of all time. And so, Adou, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. We all rooting for you. The Laker fans are rooting for you. We hope that you get more playing time. We would love to see you out there. You did so good in the summer league. And comment down below, man, what do you guys think about Adou Thiero? Do you guys think that he's perfectly rated? Do you guys think he's underrated, overrated, etc.? I would love to get y'all opinion on this one. Other than that, man, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Peace out, everybody.